Hi, and thank you for joining me again. I'm going to be doing a really quick review of this journal that I got from Barnes and Noble. A really good friend of mine convinced me, several people have suggested, but she finally convinced me to write down some of the shenanigans that I've been through relationship-wise, because I get told constantly, oh, you could write a book about that. I have no desire to write a book, but she was like, maybe you should really do that, get it out of your head, have like a collection of short stories. So that's what I'm gonna do. I did get two. They were on clearance, and they were 70% off or more, I think. I can't remember. I know I got both of these for the price of half of one of them, so I really couldn't complain. I got this beautiful leather journal for like $8. So it was the clearance, plus I have a membership at Barnes and Noble. I'm a bibliophile, so I took advantage of that. It comes packaged like this typically, in this really heavy plastic bag. I'm gonna leave one of them in there. It was originally $34.95. It says made in Italy, Barnes and Noble Inc., Journal Floral Mosaic. We'll look at this in a minute, but this is how it comes packaged originally. And if you've shopped Barnes & Noble, you know the journals usually aren't actually packaged how they were originally. They usually look like this. So this is the one that was open. I did get the last two. It's got a really nice leather tie on it. It is a leather journal, and the little card says blue and silver floral mosaic leather journal. The striking Italian leather writing journal captures the distinctiveness and beauty of the bird of paradise flowers, treasured for their unmistakable resemblance to a bird in flight. Native to South Africa, this flower represents joyfulness and makes the perfect home to hold your treasured writings. The softly muted floral design is meticulously painted on silver finished soft calfskin leather by artisans in Florence, Italy, and finished with a leather tie closure. 192 ivory-lined pages, handmade in Florence, Italy. So that's the little card thingy. Leather tie, it seems like it's glued in there fairly well. So you have your leather cover. The graphic goes all the way around, and then you open it up, and you have just like a cardstock book board sort of situation, and you have the little spot from where the leather has been glued. And then you have, it's kind of like, it is a yellowish tint, which doesn't bother me, but you have this journal belongs to, and a little design. It's not really a fleur-de-lis, it's just that design-ish. And then you get to your pages. The first page, kind of like Moleskine, kind of like a lot of pages that are have that bookboard glued in. It's got that funky glue thing going on to where you can see it. It's not like flush like the rest of the pages, but the rest of the signatures seem to be fine. So they're just lined pages with this design at the bottom. And then you have a ribbon bookmark that is sewn in to the top. So you see where your signatures are bound together. Then you have your canvas cover from the notebook, and then you have your leather cover. So it's a really nice journal. It was something that I thought was really pretty. You get to the back, and again you have that funky glue thing going on. You have a Barnes and Noble barcode and SKU information, and then handmade in Italy. So there's nothing really super glamorous about this. I thought it was pretty. It was a nice looking, inexpensive notebook for me to exclusively write all of the nonsense that I've been through. And that's just literally relationship stupidity. It's not anything traumatic, it's just relationships. Okay, so we're gonna do a really quick pen test. I really want to use these in this journal. I really hope that the paper works really nicely for these, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna do it on, because I do want to write in this journal as like a draft of a book. So I'm gonna do my pen test on the very last page. So we're gonna use both of my Lamy, I think they have different color inks in them, both of my Lamy fountain pens. One is a fine tip nib, the other is a broad point nib. My, I think this is Eclipse Pen Gems pen with black rollerball ink in it. I'm gonna see how mild liners work in here. I use mild liners to edit when I write. And then a Stabler Tri Plus fine liner in blue because my black walked off from the last time I used it. It's probably still on my dining room table. All right, I am heavy-handed, but I guess not as heavy-handed as some people, but anyway, I am heavy-handed. So the fine liner doesn't, oh, the fine liner does smear. It doesn't dry really quick. If you give it a minute to dry, it doesn't smear. So let's see how the mild liner does. The mild liner smears as well, but probably if you give it a minute to, we're not going to test both of them. They're both going to do the same thing. So here is the Lamy broad point or broad nib fountain pen. And that smears horribly. Let's see how it works. And then here is the fine nib fountain pen. Do it over here. That smears as well. So now that my mild liner has had a chance to dry, it doesn't smear. And now that my broad point has had a chance to dry, it doesn't smear. And the fine didn't have as long as everything else, but it's not smearing as badly. Now it's not smearing at all. So let's see about ghosting. When I write like this, ghosting and bleed through bug me to no end. So there is some ghosting. This isn't going to bother me that much, but there is some ghosting on all of them. There is no bleed through though. The rollerball has the least amount of ghosting, if you can kind of see that. But that's not going to bug me as much. And there's no, despite me being heavy-handed, there's no raised, it's not like Braille. So that is there's again not a specific name, but that is the Blue and Silver Floral Mosaic Leather Journal, handmade in Florence, Italy, from Barnes and Noble. If you like this type of video, if you want me to keep reviewing things every now and then, let me know. Drop a comment, give me a thumbs up. If you think these are annoying because there's 1,000,005 reviews on YouTube, let me know that as well. Basically, I'm just reviewing things that I plan to use going forward so that y'all kind of have an idea of what I'm using and what I think about it before I dive into it. I did pay for this with my own money, so this is like, honestly, I just thought it was pretty and it was a good price point for me. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you have a notebook or a pen that you absolutely adore, let me know. I would love to hear about that and possibly try it out myself. I'm always looking for new pens. These are my go-tos, my Pen Gems pens and my Lamy fountain pens right now. So like I said, let me know. I will drop a note in the description and links to these things, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you use to write in, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would love for you to catch up with me on my next video.